Hello, this is Reza from RADACAD, and today I'm going to talk about functions in DAX which you can use to search for a term in a text field or in a text value. Let's see how these functions works in DAX, what is their differences and pros and cons. Sometimes you want to search for a term, let's say a text term within a column, and you can do that in Power Query, you can do that in DAX. If you want to use it as a pre-calculation, it is much better to do it in Power Query. If you want to do it more dynamic, DAX has some functions for that. Now I'm going to show you these functions in a calculated column, but of course you can use them in a measure as well. Let's say I have a sample data set like this. This is the customer table, dim customer from the AdventureWorks dataset, which you can download from the link down in the description down below from my blog. I have a full name column in this table, and let's say I'm going to search and find character A in that in those names and find where that character A is. Find is one of the functions that you can use in DAX for such a calculation. Find gets the term that you are searching for. It can be multiple characters as well, or it can be just one character. And you specify which column you are searching into. The third parameter is the starting position. You can say start from position 1, that is the first position, or start from position 10, that means ignore anything before 10 and start from 10 onwards. Or if you leave it blank, that means start from the very first, which is 1, the default is 1. And then the last parameter is saying that what if that term is not found. In that case, what you want to return, which I specified -1, you can specify 0 or whatever. The result of this, as you see, is below. So here you can see that if that character A is not found, the result is -1. If it is found, it returns the index of the let's say character in that text that returns that value. For example, for Janet Alvarez, you can see that A is the 7th letter here. You might say A is like the 2nd letter, but find is a case sensitive function, so it only looks for capital A in this case. Similar to find, we also have search function, which is exactly the same. The only difference between search and find is that search is not case sensitive. Let me just close that one. Going to the search one. Search is not case sensitive. As you can see here, I use the same capital A, but regardless of if it is lowercase a or uppercase A, this returns the index. For example, for the first value, it returns the index where it is, for the second value, and so on. The rest is exactly the same. Now, if you want to make search, to make find also not case sensitive, there are some ways you can do that. For example, here I created another column, which is using the same find function, but using an upper. So I'm saying that whatever that full name text is, just change it to uppercase, compare it with capital A. Or you can say change it to lowercase, compare it to lowercase a. You can also change search with some functions to become like find. You can change these to become like each other, but basically find is case sensitive, search is not case sensitive. There are other functions that you can use for checking these term values. Contains string is another function for this. Contains string will check if a term is inside the text or not. It just has 2 input parameters. The result is true or false. If it is inside that column, it returns true, otherwise it returns false. Now this is not case sensitive, as you can see here. For example, lowercase a is available here, but it returns still true. And similar to that, we have contains string exact, which is the case sensitive version of that. So this only checks for uppercase A. If it can find something like that, then it returns through for that record. There is also another function called exact. Now exact is not to search for a text. This is for exact checking. For example, if you want to see if this value is exactly similar to that value, you can use exact function, and exact is case sensitive. Here, for example, what I said is that give me only the first character of the first name using the full name. Using the left, I did that, and compare it with A, and it should be exactly capital A to return through, right? So altogether, these are some functions that deal with text and searching that. There are other functions as well. I will explain those in another video. In overall, these are functions that we talked about: find and search. They will return an index, the starting index of that term, starting from 1. Otherwise, they will return the value that you provide as not found. They are find is case sensitive, search is not case sensitive. Contains a string and contains a string exact. They return Boolean values, true or false, if that value exists or not. Contain a string exact is case sensitive. The other one is not. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have weekly videos of Power BI and AI.